What is up, guys? Welcome to a new series on the channel. We've been doing a few episodes of Minecraft recently, but I decided to also bring it back to Terraria since I haven't played since forever ago. With that being said, you'll see that I've started out with a house already. That being because if you watched my last video, I explained having some issues with my software. Same thing happened here, so the only thing I had done in this world so far was build this little house around this cherry blossom tree since I thought it looked nice, but you haven't missed anything else. So we're going to get right into it from this point forward, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hey there, you ever think to yourself, what can I do to help this really awesome YouTuber I just found? Just walk on right over here and click the subscribe button. It would mean a lot. Thanks. Now enjoy your video. To start this playthrough off, my entire goal for episode 1 was to get a pretty decent house established, start getting NPCs to move in, and hopefully beat a boss. My boss of choice, of course, being the Eye of Cthulhu, since I felt it was pretty easy to handle. So first things first, I did a lot of caving, looking for any cave chests I could find, as well as taking the chests themselves after clearing them out, and getting some easy to obtain metals for weapons and armor. I came across a pretty sweet find early on. This cave is only mere feet to the right of my house that you saw in the beginning, and just a little ways down I found this abandoned miner's shack, I guess you could call it. I'm not sure the official name of these structures, but I went ahead and cleared it out, got the chest, even took the chandelier, painting, etc. to spice up my house a little bit. Moving into the next clip, I'm just continuing with my metal exploration and my spelunking. When the worst happens, I walk into a trap, and as you see, instantly die. After respawning, I decided to take a break from cave exploration, as clearly I wasn't quite cut out for it, and I was a little bit tilted, so I continued to work on my house, get some new levels added in for chest storage, etc., and then decided to go right back into the same cave I had just died in, but maybe take a different path. When I was finally back in the cave, I had reached the abandoned miner shack, and instead of going right, I decided to just go straight down and obtain this chest that I had seen before, but was just holding off on collecting. Right after this, I headed further down the cave and ran into a glowing mushroom biome, which looks absolutely beautiful, and I got plenty of metal from there, including this insane deposit right here as you see on screen. Tons of resources. After finishing up this deposit of lead, I moved further down the cave where I found one heart crystal right below the previous deposit, and then another heart crystal inside of this little alcove with a very interesting looking NPC. I wasn't sure if he was friendly. I opened up his little hobbit hole and he wasn't. He immediately attacked me, so I went into full offensive and decided to throw down crafting benches, furnace, etc., an anvil, and built myself a bow and arrow so that I could get to him easier. After defeating the weird salamander lizard creature in the cave, defending this heart crystal, I finally got that, so I had 2 extra hearts now to my health bar, and continued on my exploration of the mushroom biome. There wasn't much left. I thought maybe there would be more if I dug straight down. It was just another hole for all of the water to fill up, so I decided to drown myself and head back to the surface. Once I was finally back at spawn on the surface, I decided to continue adding on to my house, building the other side for my furnace, anvil, workbench, etc., and making that my little workshop. Eventually I would add, a sawmill, etc., loom, whatever I could get, but for now I decided it was time to venture out and try to find a corrupted area so that I could craft an Eye of Cthulhu and any boss materials I might need in the future. As the adventure began, the biomes would quickly shift from desert to jungle, and jungle went on for quite a while. As I was exploring, not even worrying about any cave systems, just trying to find the corrupted zone, maybe even the edge of the map to see how far it was, night would fall, and with night would come eyeballs and zombies, which I was perfectly fine with. I felt I had the necessary means to handle them at this moment, at least a few at a time, my plan being to farm the eyeballs especially so that I could kill multiple eyes of Cthulhu to start making some demonic ore, armor, and weapons. I continued on my adventure through the night, even finding this weird baby shark creature pet thing, which later on you'll see disappears because I was quite tired of being followed around, so I ended up clicking him off. I thought maybe it would put him back in my bags, but it didn't, he just vanishes. Anyways, I continued on forward towards the edge of the world, or towards a corruption zone. Things were looking pretty hopeless at this point. I had been venturing through the jungle for quite a long time, but my luck would soon turn around as I would find the angler NPC. I didn't know at the time, but he would eventually move in and follow me home. He has quests, which I'm not sure what they do, but eventually I will definitely try to get a fishing pole and attempt some of those. After talking with my new NPC friend, I would venture out into the water. Knowing this was the end of the world, I wasn't sure if the dungeon that usually follows, if those are still in the game, it's been a while, were past the water or before. I would end up swimming all the way to the edge, realizing that there was nothing left. I would go straight down looking for the water chest, as I knew that those were quite common towards the end of the world as well, and eventually I would find it, and then decided to drown myself to send myself back home and head the other way. After respawning back home, I decided to head left this time, where I would quickly find a snow biome. First I've ever seen this from my memory, and it was pretty cool atmosphere to be in. Quickly after the snow biome, we would finally find a corruption zone, which was great news since it wasn't that far away from my house. However, as I was exploring, looking for a demon altar, I would fall to my death, and that would be my second death of the playthrough. After my slight miscalculation with ropes in the corruption zone, I decided to stay home this night and just farm eyeballs. It's a good thing I did, as I ended up running into my first blood moon. Now these were around when I played previously, but things were a tad bit different, including new mobs being these slimy eyeballs and slimy zombies that would end up coming to either side of the base. So with that, I just decided to stay and farm lenses from the few eyeballs that did spawn, and even ended up getting a corrupted tier or cursed tier, not sure what the actual name is, but this would allow me in the future to spawn a blood moon whenever I wanted, so I kept that, not knowing if I would need it for a specific boss later on in the playthrough. The plan at this point of the playthrough was to just get as many ones as I could so that I could stack up summons and not have to make too many trips to the altar. So after this blood moon had come and passed, I decided to start building up my boss platform for the Eye of Cthulhu, just to make the killing process a little bit easier on myself, and then started to head over to the corruption zone once again. Knowing I had close to enough lenses for 2 summons, I decided I would head over there, wait for night to come again, and try to farm up the last few lenses I would need to craft 2 of the summoning rituals, so that I didn't have to come back anytime soon. After reaching the corruption zone once again, I decided to be a lot more careful, headed into these caverns to try and find a demonic altar. I finally did, towards the bottom of the zone, and started to make it safer for myself, as well as give myself quite a long rope, I should say, all the way up to the top, so that I could get down and up way faster. Once I completed making it safe down here, I decided to head back to the surface in hopes of getting these eyeballs to come attack me so that I could get more lenses while I was here. After reaching the top of the cavern I was in with the altars at the bottom, I marked it up with plenty of torches so that I knew which one I needed to go down in the future to get straight to an altar. Besides the altars, there were also orbs down there, which I believe I would need later. I think they help you summon the Eater of Worlds, I think. I'm not quite sure, I'll have to look into it. But, well, at the top, I noticed there weren't really any eyeballs at all, let alone zombies, just tons of these little Destroyer World bug segments that were flying around, so I decided it was best to head down, craft one of the eyeballs that I could craft at that time, kill myself, spawn back at the base, and try to fight the Eye of Cthulhu for the first time of our playthrough. Now that I was back at my base camp at my house and had my platform all ready to go, I decided to fix up my hotbars, get any potions, mushrooms, any of the weapons that I might need for this boss fight. I got all of that ready and then headed up and summoned the boss. Now, this boss fight wasn't necessarily tough, but as you'll see in a second, things didn't go as planned, which is unfortunate, but now we know what we have to do in the future. Like I said in both my Minecraft and this Let's Play, it's been forever since I had played either of these games, so I'm not so caught up on all of the knowledge that you might need to do these things flawlessly, which is fine. You live and you learn, but as you'll see, I started the boss fight. I ended up getting him to his second phase, and you know, not too big of a struggle for me, but as daytime came around, I wasn't sure if he would run away or not. It turns out they do run away, so I ended up wasting lenses as well as a lot of time, ammo, and shurikens, which were, you know, quite the hot commodity since I could only find them at that time in caves. But you live and you learn, like I said. In the next episode, I'm going to do the best I can to stack up plenty of lenses, maybe get 2 or 3 of these Eye of Cthulhu summoned, maybe all within one night, since I don't think they will be that big of a challenge. And then further on after that, using the new weapons and armor that I should be able to acquire from that, I'm going to head out and try to beat the worm as well, since that corruption zone is not too far away. As it goes for the other bosses, I'm not sure what I need yet, but we will get into those pretty quick. This is only classic mode Terraria, so not a big deal, but definitely going to be quite the challenge for me being such a new player to all the new updates. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like and comment any suggestions or tips that you have for this game, or just YouTube in general. I will see you guys in the next one. As always, have a good day. Bye bye!